So here's something interesting. Taxi Association Santaco has installed security cameras inside taxis in the Durban CBD. The cameras enable taxi owners and managers to monitor what is happening in the taxi in real time via an app. This includes driver behavior and driving patterns. And owners can communicate with passengers through the app and can even stop the taxi remotely as if they detect a problem. So about 70 taxis have been installed with these cameras. Santaco says this is something that they have been discussing at a provincial level as a way of ensuring the safety of their passengers. We're now joined by Newzroom Afrika's Nobuhle Modise from Durban to tell us more about this very fascinating piece of information. Does it come with free Wi-Fi for the passengers? Morning, Nobuhle.
Morning, Dudu. Indeed, a very innovative move by Santaco here by installing these cameras. And yes, they do have free Wi-Fi. This taxi that I'm standing in front of does seem to have a Wi-Fi connection. But interestingly, I have the spokesperson for the KZN region of Santaco here, Ubabsfiso Shangase, and I want him to get into how this came about. Before we actually start speaking about what these cameras actually do, I do have Ubabsfiso Shangase here with me. Ngiyabonga kakhulu baba for joining us. Just take us through how this initiative came about.
Greetings to you, Nobuhle, and the viewers at home. The Provincial Executive Council, which is the leadership of Santaco in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, through its strategic planning, decided to prioritize the safety of commuters within the taxi industry. And then in that meeting, it was then decided as part of a resolution to ensure safety in our vehicles as well as in our operations. And it was then agreed upon that a camera could be one solution to such a challenge. As we all know that Santaco in South Africa has got a program, which is our flagship program, which is called Tlhokomela, which means we care. And that also was part of a drive, which was going to be enabling us then to be part of a fourth industrial revolution within the taxi industry. And when we talk of safety, we are talking about the safety of a commuter. We are talking about the safety of the belongings of the commuter. We are also looking at the driving of our driver to ensure that even the property that we are owning, which is the taxi, is also safe.
We were speaking earlier about the negativity that surrounds the taxi industry as a whole. And one of the biggest things are obviously transgressions on the road. These cameras, how are they going to help with that? And are we going to see consequences for some of those drivers who are obviously doing the wrong things on the sides of the road?
First and foremost, the cameras are going to be a deterrence, especially when it comes to the speeding and the unlawful transgressions which our drivers could be probably doing. And we could be able then to view them after the operation. But we also have an operation nerve in the office where somebody is seated there viewing the operations itself. But the onus is mainly on the operator or the owner of the vehicle, because he is the one who could be able then to access at any given time if he wants to watch how his own vehicle is actually operating on the road. But there is definitely going to be consequence management for those who are transgressing. We will be calling them into the office for disciplinary hearings depending on the nature of the transgression. If it calls for us then to have a formal DC, we will have that, because within our constitution we do have structures of that nature whereby the deputy chairperson as well as the deputy secretary are individuals who are being empowered to look into these affairs of transgressions or conflict management within the taxi industry.
And then, Mr. Shangas, a very big one. We know we have a huge issue of gender-based violence here in the country. And obviously there have been a lot of reports where in some cases it's taxi drivers that are alleged to be the ones violating women and sometimes even men on taxis. How are these cameras going to assist with that?
These cameras are definitely going to be able then to provide evidence on allegations that would have been made when it comes to GBV issues. Because we are totally against GBV. And for us now, because somebody would come into the vehicle and make an allegation. But since now we are having these cameras, we will have evidence of the asset or the alleged GBV which has been the complainant would have put forward. We will then be in a position to assess, review, and then lead evidence on the assertion that has been made by the complainant. It's going to be assisting all of us now in terms of providing evidence on all allegations that will be made. Even if a person has lost his belongings within the minibus taxi, we'll be able then to retrieve or be able then to see where that item has been lost to.
And then, Mr. Shangase, how have passengers received this initiative? How are they happy? Are we seeing some people being, a bit unnerved by it? It's an infringement on someone's privacy. But how are they receiving it as passengers?
As much as you could perceive it as an infringement on their privacy, but we need to prioritize their safety as well. And it depends upon how you put it across to them. But when you speak about the safety within the minibus taxis, they are receiving this positively. They are all excited about this initiative. And it makes life easier, especially now you could see that some of the ladies are even choosing minibus taxis with cameras, which is a clear indication that people are excited and their safety is their priority. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was Sfiso Shangase, who is the KZN spokesperson for Santaco here in Durban. And I'm just going to quickly walk to the taxi and try and maybe chat with the taxi driver, Dudu, if you'll allow me quickly. I just want to have a quick chat with the taxi driver because he did mention off camera to me that he was also one very excited about these cameras being installed in the taxis. Sawubona baba, ngicela usichazele wena njengomshayeli uzizwa kanjani njengoba sekufakwe la makamera la?
Ngizizwa ngijabulile kakhulu because manje sengizozizwa ngivikelekile nami as u driver taxi since la ngoba driver la edolobheni sinokuzwa ingozi like ukubanjwa ko driver bebanja ama passenger, so manje nami ngizizwa ngisafe kakhulu nje nanokuthi nami sengizoba naleyo nto ukuthi ngishayele ngicophelele ngenxa ukuthi konke kuyabonakala.
Yes, he's just explaining there that this does indeed make him happy because then there's evidence. Should something happen on the road and he's blamed for it, these cameras are now able, to put some proof forward to say he was not the one who did it or someone else has done it. And he's saying he's now able to drive with confidence because he knows that there is some sort of surveillance when he is on the road. Dudu?
A very interesting initiative. Thank you very much, Nobuhle, for that report. Meanwhile, in the West,